What's up, Web3 pioneers? Richard here from the Edge of NFT, and we're coming at you hot from the bustling streets of Hong Kong. On today's episode, we're taking you on a journey through the blockchain revolution with some great folks we met at Hong Kong Forked Conference and Bitcoin Asia. First up, we got a dynamic duo from Memeland, Conan and Cheng. They're spilling the tea on Saikland, a meticulously curated launchpad for only the most promising projects. Discover their approach to cultivating a passionate global community through exclusive events. But that's not all. We're also diving into the world of Illuvium with CFO Danny Wilson, a gaming visionary forging the path for blockchain-powered entertainment. We'll get to the down low on their massive funding round and upcoming launch. Plus, we'll unravel the intricate connection between Bitcoin adoption and Web3 gaming in Asia-Pacific region with Eric Alexandre from Native Capital. It's a mind-blowing exploration that'll leave you questioning everything that you thought you knew. So buckle up, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready to immerse yourself in the cutting edge of meme IP, gaming, and Bitcoin ecosystem. This is the one episode you can't afford to miss. Let's go.
Welcome to the Edge of NFT, the podcast that brings you the top 1% of Web3 today and what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts of the business side and also the human element of how Web3 is changing the way we interact with the things we love. This podcast is for the dreamers, disruptors, and doers who are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Hi everyone, this is Josh Krieger, co-host of Edge of NFT, live in Hong Kong at Fork. This whole road trip is powered by our friends at BitLayer. Really excited to talk with some leaders in the space. We're all vibing and collaborating at this first of several exciting events this week in Hong Kong. Today I have Conan and Karen from Memeland here with us. How are you guys doing?
We good.
Good. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So just to give everyone some background, Conan's the community director. Been with Memeland for like 6 months, which is like 6 years in Web3, right? And Karen is super OG. She's been with Memeland for 5 years, so part of the creating...
It's been 83 years.
83 something years, and she co-hosts a very popular Twitter space as well. And yeah, great to have you guys both on the show. And let's just talk about like what's going on here in Hong Kong. This is my first trip. I've already met several people that made a first trip for this week. Hong Kong's back, but it's been around for a while. What do you think is giving it additional visibility now, and how does it fit in the overall sort of Web3 landscape?
I think it's definitely a welcoming city in Asia, and I think like we're welcoming all like types of projects for us to connect here. Is a great place to be at. And I think there's a lot of opportunity around Asia anyway, so Hong Kong obviously being a hub. And yeah, we meet a lot of great people around here. So it's good to base here because you get to have all these people flying in instead of going elsewhere.
Yeah, and there's like no shortage of amazing restaurants where you can like show people off and you know, eat a bunch of dumplings and all sorts of good stuff, right? And Conan, what about you? Any other thoughts?
Well, like for the past few months, I also travel a lot, like for different Web3 conferences. But like every time I come back to Hong Kong, I can still feel like the ecosystem, especially in the Web3 side of Hong Kong, is definitely most well built in Asia or even in the world. Like we have different entities in the space right now. Like, even the government show full support to Web3 ecosystem. So I gotta say, if you are in Web3, you can definitely not fade Hong Kong.
Yeah, you have to make it over and get to know folks here. So you guys have been busy building during the bear and you know, prolific on the content side and community building, but kind of dropped a bit of a bombshell recently with Saikland, and that launch was really exciting, got a lot of attention. For those that don't know about Saikland, can you give us some of the background on what that project is and where your aspirations are going from here?
Yeah, for Saikland is kind of like a launch pad for Memeland. So what Memeland has always trying to do is we want to go beyond Memeland, and we want to introduce to the space the best project that is going to launch something, or they in need of some momentum to get their project running. So what Saikland is doing is we try to get on board some high quality project in the space right now and help them to get the momentum on it, or the so-called the starting energy they need. And we also want to have a win-win situation, so Memeland, our holders, or even the project that partner with us can get what they want, and try to I'm not saying that we are trying to give the utility to meme coin, but we wanted to build something for the whole space. So people get to know that Memeland is not just an NFT project right now. Yeah.
Very cool. And what are sort of some of the objectives and criteria with choosing the right projects? Obviously, you have everything from those sole one founder teams that have an idea to very sophisticated projects that have serial entrepreneurs that have successful exits. Like, are you open to all types of projects, or are there any sort of criteria that you're focused on?
Well, we do not have a very very strict criteria for the project we're collaborating with, but there's one thing we are very careful with. That is the whole authority or credibility of the team. We do not want to collab with any project could actually turn into kind of like a scammy one. So that will harm the branding of the whole Memeland, and that's the one thing we are very careful about.
Yeah, you got to do your due diligence there. It's the same thing with our show. We try really, really hard to elevate, the adults in the room that have, really ambitious plans, but also the conviction and sort of experience to get it done, right? It's all an experiment. You don't know what's going to work and what's not. Yeah. But you at least want to know that the right ingredients are there for making a good recipe. Yeah,
especially when Saikland is talking about onboarding even thousands or even millions of people on the same project. But if that project turn out badly, and we have to somehow bear the responsibility to that.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah.
So, Karen, how has the community responded to Saikland so far? And, I'm curious if it's sort of brought in some new folks that are curious about sort of what Memeland is up to.
Yeah, I think it so far is very positive, and people are looking forward to the next project that we're going to collab with. And we are still working the details around how to introduce another project and making sure that our objectives are aligned, because I feel like even working with another founder, you kind of need to align on the goals and the vision of going into the Web3 space. And I think that's important for us to understand if we have the same value. So not just because, there's another hype project that's coming in that we'll just jump on it. So I think that's another way to check out their vibe, I guess, vibe check with our team. Yeah.
I love that. And do you have a target frequency of how often you're going to be launching projects, or is still being worked out?
I think the frequency is less of a worry. There is more we want quality stuff. Yeah. So it's not we're rushing to do another project, but more we need to be well prepared in terms of what kind of people are we helping out and bringing more people to the platform. Yeah.
Cool. And, I know you wear a lot of hats. You have the show, plus community and social. And, of course, Web3 community isn't community without IRL events. Yeah. So you're hitting the road, right?
Yep. We're hitting the road this whole year, starting in Paris, and then we did New York. And then upcoming, we'll have more events in Asia. Actually, maybe the next 6 months will always be in Asia. So excited to just be around, traveling and also meeting new people, our holders, probably meeting our first time. So it's great, because we always chat online. We feel like you already knew that person, but you're going into real live events, you're I'm meeting them again, and it's great to see their faces.
Yeah. The Outer Edge we did after COVID was so special for that reason, because all these communities have been built, these strong, powerful digital relationships, but they really get cemented by that in-person experience. Do you have any like fun themes or ideas for events? Do you know the style of events? Are you gonna mix it up?
I think one thing about like going into these events is like people want to feel like, really feel like they belong to a community. And I think like it brings like the strongest feeling of like meeting the founders and get to know who these people are behind the team. And they always see me online, but like when we talking in a real life event, it's like a different exchange, and it feels like I already knew them as a friend. So it's great to know like, what they actually do full time, or like are they full time in crypto? So it's great to know all these people, but also like some of our holders are actually helping us a lot, like, maybe referring other businesses or like introducing us to other projects as well. So I think that's a great sort of extended sort of our marketing team are our holders. Yeah.
Well, you guys really are a gateway for Web2 and Web3. I mean, 9gag, 300 million community, right? And I think, you're holding the torch in a lot of ways for this cycle sort of leading to more adoption and more trust in our space. I'm curious what you're excited about, what you see sort of moving forward during this cycle that sort of, you're anticipating positively.
Especially for Memeland, I think like what Karen just said, why we are hitting the road so much is because, first of all, we want to meet our holders. The other reason is because we want to include some more new people to the community, no matter to include them as our NFT holders or our meme coin holders. But most importantly, what we are trying to do is to actually get them to get to know more about Web3. Because like some of our holders, they don't know about Web3 before joining Memeland. It's because they know the brand of 9gag, and they buy Memeland NFT because they know the brand of 9gag, and that's one of our targets as well. We want to try to get on board more and more people in Web3, not just because of Memeland. We want to let them know that is the future, and that's what Ray, our CEO, always trying to do. Yeah.
Another trend that I think we're going to focus on is building the culture. So event is being part of the culture, and also content is part of the culture. So obviously we're going to have more activities, whether online or offline, so that we're solidifying our culture and making sure that there's a strong sort of belonging for people that are inside the community.
Very cool. And on your Twitter Spaces or X Spaces, and sort of at these IRL events, are there certain trends around Web3 and blockchain that people are talking about that you're seeing sort of bubble up to the surface? We just had a really interesting conversation with TM Lee, and he doesn't think this is going to be the summer of fill in the blank anymore because there's so many different things happening at the same time. But I'm just curious, what gets you excited from a macro perspective in terms of our industry?
I mean, it's just every day, every week, there's something new, and you can't really plan ahead of time. So it's almost like I always describe it as going to the war zone, and then you just have to get everything you have to prepare for war. So I think that's the great thing, or most exciting thing about this industry, is to meet new people, and then there's always something new happening, and then you have to react fast because the iteration cycle is so fast that you just need to prioritize and see what are you building next.
So basically, if you're traveling, book your one-way ticket and see where things go from there.
Yeah, in case of an earthquake or flood.
Or fires, you name it these days. Definitely floods in Dubai. That was something else. Cool. Where can people go? Obviously, we know where people can go to follow Memeland. Just look up Memeland. But if they want to follow you on X or get more involved, where should they go?
Sure. Well, first of all, follow GM Show Official. That's our show. And I'm Currency, so follow me.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me, my Twitter handle is This Is Conan, or it's X handle right now. Yeah, it's it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
A quick word from our sponsors who's ready to navigate the cutting edge of tomorrow's legal landscape. Because at Zuber Lawler, they're not just attorneys, they're visionaries. With expertise in emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and the metaverse, they're paving the way for you to seize the future. For mergers and acquisitions to IP, their selective team delivers strategic solutions tailored to the ever-changing world of technology. Join us at Zuber Lawler, where the future meets the law at zuberlawler.com. Back to the episode.
Hi everyone, Josh Krieger, co-host of Edge of NFT, live at Bitcoin Asia in Hong Kong, having some really great conversations with leaders in this ecosystem. This whole series and roadshow is powered by BitLayer, so special thanks to them for bringing us here to have these conversations. And right now I'm here with Eric Alexander, who wears two hats, like many of us in the crypto space. He's a Native Capital founding member in the Web3 Grand Prix team lead. Great to have you on the show, Eric.
Hello, nice meeting you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so before we get into all the stuff you're up to with the Grand Prix project, what's your take on the vibe here in Hong Kong? This is my first time here. How often does Hong Kong cross your path?
Well, for me, it's pretty special because my first experience with Bitcoin was 10 years ago in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
So I'm back 10 years later. I'm well incubated, I would say, because I come from creative advertising background. So I wasn't ready for it. I fell in love with Bitcoin and all the innovation. I built several projects, but through my experience with many projects, I was able to learn, grow with it, and really understand the ecosystem pretty well, where it goes and how it moves.
And what are you seeing on the ground in terms of the ecosystem scene in Hong Kong on this trip?
I think Hong Kong is quite vibrant, and I think right now they're taking a leap into the Bitcoin ecosystem, which is interesting because last year I went to several conferences. As you know, there were a Taproot upgrade back in 2021. We enabled the rise of Ordinal BRC20. And at that time last year, the community was super polarized. But what I saw, the moment some of the assets built on BRC20, Ordinal start to pick up value or get listed on major exchanges, then everybody came to Bitcoin. So right now, the excitement is there. People believe in it. I can give also a sample in Singapore last year on the Ordinal Summit. It was still really boutique, but what I felt, the builder are back on Bitcoin, and today I see it's happening with the Rune protocol launched directly during the halving. There's a lot of things happening now. There's new way of mining with Ordinal, with NFT. So I think we get up to speed, and I think Bitcoin finally take its full position where it should be.
Very cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you've been up to lately. I know you're spending a good amount of your time on the Web3 Grand Prix project. What is that project? Break it down for our listeners.
So we're launching a sim racing competition. We're actually, besides to be as a driver, to be part of the leaderboard, then there's a reward mechanism. You can share a prize pool, you can have a different competition. What I noticed actually with Native Capital or Crypto Fund, we were about to take a project doing something similar, but we felt the team was too weak. But we saw from our investor there were huge interest. And what we like about sim racing, it's some game like Assetto Corsa, Forza, they're all open source. And there's a huge community building on sim racing which is not connected. And it's about similar like the open source of Bitcoin in terms of the blockchain community. I say, why don't we take this, build a game, build on Bitcoin, and so it goes. And that's what we started with.
So are you a racing fan? Obviously the Formula One is a big deal in Singapore.
Well, with one of my first projects in the past, we're the first crypto to sponsor an after-party Formula One in Singapore. So I'm a fan of Formula One, fan of supercar, and what we found out, so we selected the most limited edition supercar for the past 15 years. We're not available physically in the market anymore, and everyone can race it on a game.
All right, that sounds pretty fun. So I guess the next natural question is, why build it on Bitcoin?
Well, what I've seen so far, when you build on EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, it's still really tech-centric or gaming-centric for the people or the user who are comfortable with the technology. But when we tell people you're on Bitcoin, then the trust is there. Bitcoin achieved the mass adoption in terms of trust. Everyone wants Bitcoin. So we know based on our market research that the sim racing community might not be familiar with a protocol like Solana, Polygon, Arbitrum, who are fairly new in the market. But you say, oh, you can add Bitcoin, then all of a sudden the gates are open. So we feel it's an easier adoption to bring a Web2 gaming solution to a Web3 solution.
Very cool. So are you concerned about latency and gameplay? Like, how are you thinking about these sort of things? And yeah, just kind of curious.
Well, right now, so we're looking at different solutions. Right now, the way we more reward mechanism, where people perform the race and we airdrop the token later. They participate with the token and they can extract, but we also invite other partners to join the races or to sponsor the race, sponsor the driver. We use more, like, I think, some of what the facility the blockchain is giving us. So you can stake the driver and share a prize pool with him. You can also do banner advertising. So there's a lot of different utility we found, not limited to our token. We're open to all the token, of course.
So it's not just about how you play the game. It's about sort of the overall sort of infrastructure around the game.
Ecosystem around the game. Yeah. Or you can participate. You can decide to sponsor a driver because you like the way he drives and you feel he's going to make it, and enter more expensive races and to share a bigger prize pool. So we use it as a reward mechanism right now.
Who are you thinking in terms of your target audience for the game?
We're saying in sim racing, we make the study worldwide already, so we're pretty much geographically where we go. We see a huge rise of sim racer in the China market. Korea is big as well, Japan, Indonesia as well. So we pretty much focus in Asia Pacific because let's go back to data. Let's go back to Bitcoin. As of today, based on the latest studies, you have 420 million active users of crypto wallets around the world. 62% are based in Asia Pacific, which is 260 million, a bit above. So we feel like we should focus on where the sim racing community is growing, which is Asia Pacific, and where the adoption of Bitcoin is already pretty much established.
Makes sense. So what are the next steps from here? Where are you in the
So
process
right now
of
we're on
release?
the private sale mode. So we're showcasing some of the races where investors play with it. We're going at several conferences. We've done a few already. We have Fork yesterday. We're at Bitcoin Asia for these 2 days. Partner with Bitcoin Layer, which is a BitLayer, a fantastic solution.
Yep.
And
Shout
tomorrow
out to those guys who powered this show. So.
Yes, exactly. So we'll be going on different conferences as well. We have a pool of investors are curious to try the game and raise more funding. Then we'll go public, and I guess afterwards we'll be launching races on a weekly basis. And
what's the approximate timing there, or what quarter?
I feel the public sale of the token will go around somewhere end of June, July, August, and first race will go on September. I think I like to match it with Formula One Singapore, because something we can do which is super exciting. Every Formula One fan knows on the Saturday is the qualification time. And our game is based on performance time on the lap. So you don't race together, you race against each other's time. We can take actually the leaderboard from the actual F1, match the car on our game, and you can see on your fair versus the best driver in the world with the same car virtually on the F1 track. So we're trying to merge our public listing on the same time.
Very exciting. And if folks want to learn more and get into one of these supercars, where should they go?
I think the best is to go to our website, wgpx.io, which is really simple, and they can follow us on Twitter and check us out anyway.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
And now for a quick word from our sponsor before we dive into the next segment. Are you ready to take your sports predictions to the next level? Look no further than maincard.io, the fantasy management platform that's taking the blockchain world by storm. With MainCard, every card is a ticket to excitement. You can predict sport outcomes, trade cards in the marketplace, and challenge opponents in thrilling weekly duels. And don't wait. Head to maincard.io now and start earning rewards with your NFTs, because it pays to be early. And now back to today's episode.
Here in, of course, another episode of Edge of NFT. We're in Hong Kong and we're at the Fork event. One of the speakers that just came off the stage, we have Danny Wilson with Illuvium. Really appreciate you being able to join. Obviously, you are building a lot of really cool things in gaming, which has been a really cool topic of discussion here at Forks. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what you're building and why the timing of what you're building for gaming is really critical to what's happening in blockchain?
Yeah, so we've been building since 2020, and we've obviously been through the roller coaster that is crypto. And we started from a team of 4 people based out of Sydney, and we grew to an exponential amount of 240 people at one stage. And,
wow.
And so timing for us, in terms of the capital raise, in terms of investment from the general public in our token event, was critical. And obviously that was back in 2021, March 2021. We obviously then saw a pretty significant downturn for the next sort of 12 to 18 months. We just kept building, we kept growing. We tightened up the business to a point where we genuinely needed to sort of protect that capital that we had raised, unknowing what was going to happen obviously in the next sort of 12 months. But now we've come out the other end. We've just successfully closed a bridging round, or a Series A round, just recently.
Yes.
And that's given us, it's put us in a very, very good position now to deliver the game, which is obviously first and foremost, delivering in hopefully Q2. And obviously the funding there is to support us with a good 2 years runway and the ability to then continue building and potentially a new game.
That's amazing. And congrats on closing that, especially surviving the bear market. It's all invest challenges for sure. But now we're here, we're in Hong Kong, and we're at this amazing event, Forks. And for a lot of people who haven't visited Hong Kong and aren't able to see like all the amazing things that are happening just over here in this side of the world, what made you want to come and be a part of this event and be a part of all these events happening this week here in Hong Kong?
Absolutely. So Addy invited us originally to the event earlier, and so obviously we're strategically Southeast Asia, including Philippines, is a very keen targeted market for us. Predominantly because a lot of our anticipated gamers will come from this space and this geographic location. But ultimately, Forked and what Addy and the team have presented here is a very unique and specific and I guess very niche in terms of the people that are here are very directed and targeted to the space that we're after. Typically conferences are quite large and you don't have that same interaction. So for us, this type of event is exactly what we're after, and it will help us really cater, I guess, our launch plans and some of the partners that we've talked to today and towards getting the game out there and getting a great success.
Definitely. A lot of the people that I've been meeting here are not just excited about what's happening in Bitcoin and in the world of memes and everything else, but very excited about games, very excited about AI, very excited about all of the things that people have been building for the last 4 years that are now ready for the main show, right? And they're all about to start launching. So with that, obviously you've been building for a while, you're getting ready to launch the game. What are the types of exciting things that people can be looking forward to for Illuvium this year?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing to look forward to, I guess, is people have been talking games for years now, and we're talking about blockchain games and trying to develop and build games that people genuinely want to play and that will have longevity in this space. And we've spent a lot of money. We've spent in excess of $50 million building this game, and once we do launch, it'll be I'd like to say world's first in terms of quality of gameplay, the interoperability between the 3 games and how they all interact with the blockchain and they will interact with each other. So there's some very unique features and some very unique pieces to the Illuvium puzzle that, upon launch will show, blockchain gaming is here to stay. It's not a fad.
Right.
There's obviously a lot of narratives that get spoken about every single cycle, and, it's good to see gaming still in that narrative for the next bull run, but it is a general use case of, blockchain technology. It generally is. People own assets. Digital asset ownership is a thing that's here to stay. So for us, we're really excited because we've spent years and a lot of money building something that we believe, will be the pioneer in gaming and utilizing blockchain technology. So, yeah, pretty exciting times.
As a gamer, I'm very excited for it. I'm looking forward to that release. Just as you kind of look at, the rest of this year as it relates to what is going to be the thing that really helps Web3 adoption continue to prosper. For some people think it's Bitcoin layer 2s, others think it's ordinals, others think it's meme culture, others think it's gaming. Maybe it's a split of all of these things, right? What do you think is going to help be the catalyst of this next move forward?
Yeah, look, I think, as I mentioned, that everyone talks narratives and, what is the next narrative? Is it AI? Is it real world assets? It's all of it, right? Memes, as much as you love them or hate them, they're part of the infrastructure. They're part of what's going to make this space successful. Will they be here in 5 years' time? Who knows? But the reality is, it all plays a part, and gaming is a very important part that has some very real use cases, and it's just exciting to be part of that.
Definitely. So. It's already been an exciting year for 2024. I know, again, people are excited for what's to come with Illuvium. For those who are listening right now, how can they learn more about what's going on and potentially be able to connect with you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Illuvium.io is the website. We've obviously got our Discord channel, which is where our community lives and thrives. 300,000+ people sit inside the community. That's where you're going to learn a lot more. At the moment, we're in private beta access, so we're in PB4, which is just the pre-release to open beta. The game will be downloadable off Epic Games, so it's very easily accessible for anyone that wants to get an idea. But we're very close now, so just keep an eye out over the next 4 to 6 weeks, and you'll be able to play the game shortly.
Awesome. Well, Danny, thanks so much for spending some time with us, and for everyone listening, and of course, continue to follow with everything that Illuvium has going on. Thank you, Danny.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
We're in the upstairs area where we have both booths all around us. We have a media area. We also have a stage over there going on with some amazing panels. Shavrat, tell us a little bit about what went into putting on Forked.
Okay, so we're throwing events with the Forked team since 2016. Yeah, we was organizing vlog show all around the world. So, and like a couple of months ago, we came up with a crazy idea to organize Forked. So we organized this event less than 1 month. It's a brand new concept, Web3 founder focus event. And we are planning to grow Yeah, so today we're in Hong Kong, and we're really proud of what we have done in is less than 1 month.
Wow.
Yeah, and the quality of people we're hosting is really impressive.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
highly impressive that you're able to put this together in a month. And I've met a lot of amazing people here today, people that we've been trying to get in contact with for quite a while. So you have the quality people here in Hong Kong, but you also have a lot of exciting things that are happening here in this city. So what was the thought behind making sure that this event happened here in Hong Kong versus somewhere else?
Actually, we love Asia. I mean, we've been doing events in Singapore, Shanghai, Malaysia, Taipei, Hong Kong as well. So I think, sure, there is many things happening in Hong Kong right now. So we thought that this is a great spot. So, but we are planning to also organize another event in September in Korea. It's a gaming event. Yeah, so I mean, Hong Kong is just our starting point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of strategic value in that.
And many things happening in Hong Kong right now, so for sure we want to be part of it.
Definitely. I mean, kicking off the week, of course, we have Bitcoin Asia happening, Ordinals Asia happening, and it's cool that you're doing a lot of events here in Asia. There's a lot of amazing companies out here. There's a lot of people that are building and proactively doing stuff and are very much welcoming to the world of Web3, so it makes sense to be here in this moment. So as you've kind of been here, of course, you have a lot of amazing panels.
Yeah.
What type of content has really stood out to you so far with some of the different conversations that have been going on?
I think gaming, for sure. Founder stories, because like everyone loves to hear inspirational stories from founders from like a really great brands. Like, so I mean, like in terms of agenda, we really have amazing agenda. It's have been done by AD, and he's so proud of it. Like I asked him like which one you prefer. He's like, I like everything. Like I cannot pick, so I agree. But sure, gaming, one of the like top.
Definitely. I know just here a couple of different vendor booths that are set up are a couple of different games that look very cool. They can do demos.
AI, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of amazing tracks and thought leadership that's here, and founder stories. The thing that I enjoyed, one of the conversations I was listening to, someone raised their asked for the crowd to raise their hand and say how many founders are here and how many founders this is their first venture, and there's so many hands that went up.
Yeah. Since we are Web3 founders focus events, we have so many founders, and each of them have like so promising project, most of them. So as I said, we really have high quality audience, and we're really proud. It's a great networking opportunity. Yeah, so.
Absolutely. So, of course, this is one of more to come. Next event happening in September. For those who are curious about Forked, want to learn more, want to come to a future event, where can they do that?
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. Yeah, it's a Forked conference. You can visit our website. It's I mean, it's hard to spell. Maybe we can write it down. Yeah, something like that.
So we'll make sure to get both of those. And if people want to follow you, how can they do that?
Yeah. My name is Shavrat. So my Twitter, you can find me Shavrat, and the line below. Yeah, so.
Awesome. Well, Shavrat, thank you so much for...
You can follow us on social media, so we are posting constantly about our events, about the news and stuff.
Definitely. I know that's one of the ways that we found out that this was happening, and excited to keep up with what's next. And
you found about us on Twitter?
So someone shared it with us via Twitter, and it was like, hey, we're actually putting this on. I was like, great, let's find a way to come be a part of that.
Yeah, actually, we are trying to make some unique content. We don't want to post some boring stuff, so we try to keep a ton of voice, so to make it more excitement, interesting. So it's cool. We felt that people really like it and they share, and many people came here not because of because of our partners, sponsors, and etc., but also word of mouth. Yeah.
And the word of mouth is powerful, and so y'all did a good job with doing that. So. Again, really excited to be here at this event. Thanks for putting us on. Thanks for talking with us today. And everyone, make sure you go check out Forked. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.